Tonight, we're going somewhere far away, farther than any desert, farther than any ocean. Tonight, we're traveling to a place that humans have dreamed about for centuries. Mars, the red planet. In movies, Mars often looks heroic, a place of brave astronauts, shiny colonies, and humanity's next great frontier. But the real Mars is something very different. Quiet, cold, empty. If you suddenly woke up on Mars tomorrow, there's a very good chance you wouldn't survive a single day. But before we begin tonight's slow journey to another world, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy these calm explorations of history, science, and strange places. And if you'd like, tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is for you right now. It's always fascinating to see people from all around Earth joining these late-night stories. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's slowly drift into tonight's story. Congratulations, you've just woken up on Mars. Your room is small, about the size of a shipping container. The walls are metallic and slightly curved. Soft machines hum quietly in the background. Air pumps, oxygen recyclers, temperature regulators. Every sound reminds you of something important. Your survival depends entirely on technology. Because outside this thin metal wall, Mars is trying to kill you. Step outside without protection and the atmosphere is so thin that your blood would struggle to hold oxygen. Within seconds, you would feel dizzy. Within minutes, you would lose consciousness. Mars looks peaceful, but it is one of the most hostile environments humans could ever try to live in. On Earth, breathing is effortless. You rarely think about it. But on Mars, every breath is a miracle of engineering. Mars's atmosphere is about 100 times thinner than Earth's, and it's mostly carbon dioxide. There is almost no oxygen. If you open the airlock right now without a suit, the pressure difference alone would be dangerous. Your lungs would struggle. Your body would panic. Within moments, your brain would begin to shut down. This is why every Mars habitat must constantly produce oxygen. Machines split carbon dioxide molecules. Filters recycle every breath. Even the moisture from your breath is captured and reused. Nothing can be wasted here. Because on Mars, every molecule of oxygen is precious. Mars is cold, very cold. The average temperature is about minus 60 degrees Celsius. That's colder than Antarctica. And during the night, temperatures can drop below minus 100 degrees Celsius. The thin atmosphere cannot hold heat. Warm sunlight during the day quickly disappears after sunset. Outside the habitat, the ground is frozen solid. The wind carries fine red dust across the landscape. Sometimes massive dust storms form, storms so large they can cover the entire planet. Standing outside during one of these storms would feel like being inside a silent, endless blizzard made of rust-colored sand. Mars is beautiful, but it is not friendly. Life on Mars is mostly indoors. Your entire world is a collection of metal rooms connected by narrow corridors. Sleeping area, laboratory, greenhouse, airlock. Everything is carefully designed to keep you alive. The walls are thick and often covered with layers of Martian soil. Not for decoration, but for protection. Because Mars has almost no magnetic field. On Earth, our planet's magnetic shield protects us from cosmic radiation. On Mars, that protection does not exist. Radiation from deep space constantly reaches the surface. Over time, it slowly damages human cells. Living on Mars for years could increase the risk of cancer dramatically. So the colony hides under layers of soil, a small underground refuge in a very dangerous world. Life on Mars is mostly indoors. Your entire world is a collection of metal rooms connected by narrow corridors. Sleeping area, laboratory, greenhouse, airlock. Everything is carefully designed to keep you alive. The walls are thick and often covered with layers of Martian soil. Not for decoration, but for protection. Because Mars has almost no magnetic field. On Earth, our planet's magnetic shield protects us from cosmic radiation. On Mars, that protection does not exist. Radiation from deep space constantly reaches the surface. Over time, it slowly damages human cells. Living on Mars for years could increase the risk of cancer dramatically. So the colony hides under layers of soil, a small underground refuge in a very dangerous world. Forget supermarkets. Forget restaurants. On Mars, food must be grown carefully inside controlled environments. Small greenhouses filled with artificial light. Rows of plants growing in nutrient solutions. Potatoes, leafy greens, maybe tomatoes. Every drop of water is recycled. Every plant is carefully monitored. A failed crop could mean serious trouble. Fresh food would feel like a luxury. Most meals might still come from preserved supplies brought from Earth. Simple, efficient, but not exactly exciting. Still, after months on Mars, even a small fresh tomato might taste incredible.
Mars is far from Earth. Very far. At its closest distance, Mars is about 55 million kilometers away. Communication is slow. Messages between Earth and Mars can take between 4 and 24 minutes. That means conversations cannot happen in real time. Every message feels like sending a letter into space. Imagine living months or years so far away from home, looking up at the tiny blue dot in the sky, knowing that everyone you love lives there. Mars might be one of the loneliest places a human could ever live. Eventually, you decide to step outside. Putting on a Mars suit takes time. Layer after layer of protection. Temperature control. Oxygen supply. Radiation shielding. Finally, the airlock opens. You step onto the Martian surface. The gravity feels strange, only about 38% of Earth's gravity. Walking feels lighter, almost like slow motion. The horizon stretches endlessly. Mountains rise in the distance, including Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the entire solar system. Mars is quiet, almost completely silent. No birds, no insects, just wind and dust moving across an ancient landscape. It is beautiful, but also deeply alien. Eventually, the Martian day comes to an end. Sunset on Mars is different from Earth. Instead of red skies, the sunset often turns blue, a strange inverted twilight. You return to the habitat. The airlock seals behind you, machines continue their quiet hum. Outside, the temperature drops once again. The red planet grows colder, darker, and silent. Living on Mars would be one of the greatest adventures in human history, but it would also be one of the hardest, because Mars is not just another world, it is a constant reminder of how fragile life really is.